building, Hip Hop Boulevard, the conversations in the house. We got a lot to talk about. We had a lot of events. Yesterday's event was incredible. If you missed it, I don't know what to tell you. But yesterday's event up in the Bronx, big shout out to my man Tony Tone from the Cold Crush. Had the crushing system out there. It was amazing. My man had like 16 speakers on the basketball court, and he was deafening the projects across the street. We did that. Then on the other side of the park, Al Pizarro and Easy Living was out there, and that was amazing too. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about that. A lot of things happen, man. A lot of things happen. You know, this Hip Hop Boulevard thing, you know, it's moving. So give us a couple of minutes, right? Because I believe that everybody in the studio is famished, right? We're all hungry. So what we're going to do is we're going to order some food, right? And then we're going to get into the show. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to rock for the hour. You know, we got an hour plus, you know. We talk about whatever. So just give us a couple of minutes. We are here. It's not just the logo up and everything. We're here. We're in the building. So just give me a couple of minutes, and we'll get the party started. We also have a special guest in the house representing Curtis Blow's foundation, which is called, is it Humanity? Hold on, I gotta turn my Al's mic on. What is it called?
United Coalition for Humanity.
Okay, so we're doing that. So we got an action-packed hour ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? And I think me and Ty Dre, we're gonna do a freestyle today. You know, we're gonna do some stuff.
I got a surprise for Ty Dre.
Oh man,
I'm gonna give him a gift that he gonna say, what? I said, yeah, I got something for you. What are you gonna do with that now?
Yeah, I always got something going on.
Got a surprise.
Yeah, so we in the building, so just give me a couple of minutes, and then we'll get the party started. All right, y'all? All right, bet. Right now. Yeah, we in the building, y'all. Give me a minute, we just ordered some food. You hear my vocals? Make sure you got my vocals, too. Yeah. It's going down momentarily. Okay, good. You got sound. Good. All right. I just need to do a quick mic check, y'all. All right, we're going to hit the button in a minute. It's going to be dope. Thank you for waiting and hanging out with us. And we're going to make it a go once I know everybody's ordered whatever they ordered. And well, I mean, you guys all ordered, right? You all know what you... All right, so I'll hit the button. And I'll just start talking while we're getting situated. We don't want you to hear the order. 1, 2, and bang. Once again, I'm going to welcome you to the conversation with my man Al Pizarro, Ty Dre, Gary Fax. We got a special guest in the house. A lot going on, a lot of events. We're going to talk about everything. Yeah, let's light the table up. So, just to give you an idea of what's going on in New York City right now, today's date is the 25th. We got kind of like beach weather going on, which is really nice. We got some beach weather happening. You know, it might rain a little bit, but, you know, we can get out there early. So today in New York City is 81 degrees. The high is 82, and the low is 66 today. Tonight should be nice and comfy for y'all. Y'all can turn your ACs off. Right? Go nice and easy. Traffic is heavy on the LIE. Cross Bronx is looking good. All my people in your cars checking out the show. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Big shout out to Renee Mickens. I met her yesterday for real. And I kept staring at her because she's got the blonde hair. And I'm like, I know you. And she's like, oh, Renee. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you finally in person. You know what I'm saying? So that's what yesterday was. And we hit the button. 1, 2, 3, and bang. Yep. So welcome you to another week of the conversation, right? The bi-weekly show that we do with Hip Hop Boulevard with your host, Al Pizarro, who always has a surprise or a gift. And I believe he has a surprise again today. Talk a little about what happened yesterday. Yesterday was actually pretty awesome. We were at an event up in the Bronx, and it was Easy Living had put this event together, and it was about child suicide. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought it was deep because a lot of our youth, you know, unlike when we were kids, right? We all kind of grew up really tough, right? And bullying was a different thing, you know, and there's different aspects of why, you know, kids want to commit suicide. Bullying being the number one, and then love being number two, you know, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, they want to kill themselves. And it was big to kind of have that conversation going on yesterday. And they asked me to, I did an interview with Jolie and Maria at IAS, you know, real quick. And they said, do you have any words of wisdom, you know? And, you know, I said, I had to say and speak truthfully. And, you know, I'm a very frank guy. I was like, listen, you know, when I was like 18, 19 years old, you know, I went for it. I went for the, I failed at suicide. And I'm glad I did. But, you know, and it was a love situation. You know what I'm saying? I was married to somebody and it wasn't working out. And I felt like this was the end of my life and I wanted it to be over, right? And I remember as I was sinking my head into the tub, guess what? Suicide by drowning in your tub doesn't work because you're going to sit up. I'm just like, you know, it's a total fail, right? But in that moment, it was like I saw the rest of my life kind of, you know what I'm saying, based on what I was doing at the time. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be all right. And had I had truly succeeded at this goal, I never would have experienced the spectacular life that I had and have right now. You know, I've traveled the world and made records and met, you know, famous people and unfamous people and great people and ate in the best restaurants in New York City and around the world. And had I snuffed myself out of that moment, I never would have been able to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was living in that moment. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what happens with a lot of people that, that commit suicide. They just think that there's no tomorrow. They think that it's not going to get better. And I said to the kids, I said, listen, what you have to understand is you have a long future. If you're being bullied as a kid, I think your phone is by the microphone. That's why it's doing the static thing. Okay. If you're being bullied, that's only a period of time in your life. You know what I'm saying? We've all been bullied. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different bully, obviously, now because they do it online. You know what I'm saying? But you come out of that too. The older you get, the less you are bullied, and you move on and you meet other people, or you move out of your neighborhood, and you can become the cool guy in your neighborhood or whatever it is you do. You know what I mean? Like, I had a bully. My bully was Robert Burton, God bless. But he was the bully of the block, you know what I'm saying? And when you went to the park, you had to deal with Robert Burton, and Robert Burton would beat up everybody because he knew how to box. So, but now, and bully back then in the 70s was a physical act. Right, this thing is happening online, and unfortunately, online has taken on a personality of its own. Right, it's taken on this. It's serious to people. It's not serious to me when people chastise me online. But to the youth, it's very serious. When people start putting up pictures. Right, when a girl maybe sent some explicit pictures to a friend, and then they text everybody in the school the picture and all that thing, and you feel really embarrassed. About what it is, but that moment passes and it won't even matter. And here's the deal. I don't know anybody from high school. I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? I know like one person. I like LaFonda Mapp, who tunes in all the time, and Yvette Sills, who tunes in. But after that, I don't know anybody from high school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to say that your situation is not a permanent situation. And big shout out to Easy Living, because they were great, and I was glad to have the day off to really make that event, you know what I'm saying, because I felt like I had something to say based on the fact that, I went for it, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the deal. Al, what's going on with you? What's happening? Big shout out to Tony Tone once again, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Who's that? I'll turn everybody down. Go ahead.
The crazy thing about what you just mentioned is the fact that this is the first time that Hip Hop Boulevard set up a separate entity to help people with their festivals. So this was our first festival that we were helping with that situation. And guidance, because a lot of people do festivals and they kind of don't, like they're just throwing it together. And there's a way to do it in a professional manner that when you see it, it's impressive. And when you hear everything that's going on there and see all the components, it's impressive.
Right.
And that's important because the presentation is everything. Especially when you want to get sponsors.
Right.
They're looking at that. So they do thousands of festivals and they look at, this is going to grow, or, this was a mistake. We're not going to sponsor them next year. So we decided to do that because we know a lot of people do a lot of different events and they search for the money to put it together. All right. So this was the first time that we did that, and we were very glad to be involved. And it's also important for us to be attached to the right message.
Got you.
Okay. So suicide is a look, I was a member of a gang for like 15, 20 years. And so I saw all kinds of different things that happened in front of me. And it's just like you said, Rob, when you have a situation, you gotta I want you to sit back and look at it and say, is this permanent or is this just for now, temporary? So that way you can understand the suicide is a permanent thing. And you can understand I'm only here for this moment. So this is gonna pass and I'll be able to do whatever it is you want to do. It's very important to understand that.
Right.
But yeah, Easy Living, that was Mr. Hallback and Miss Velez.
Okay.
And they did a great job. And Hip Hop Boulevard was there in strength. And look, Hip Hop Boulevard is different individuals and different companies. And what we do is we don't get in everybody's way. We help each other.
Right.
And that's the premise of when we say we want to build bridges, we apply that in our own world. So Tony Tone from the Cold Crush Brothers, one of the co-founders of Hip Hop Boulevard, was there. Big Bash Show. With the DJ there. You know, Eddie from his thing, what he does. Renee was there. IES Live Music Review. ESP was there. I mean, everybody was.
Everybody was there.
And this is what it's about.
Yeah.
If you can imagine this in a larger scale, all right, 40, 50, 60 organizations, there's nothing that we can't do, a goal that we can't accomplish if we all put our heads together.
Right.
So that was the greatest. And when I looked around and I just looked at everybody, I just said, man, I'm really proud of everybody just being here. You're gonna have issues, you're gonna have discussions, you're not gonna agree. That's just part of life.
You're not supposed to.
Right.
You know?
But move on.
Move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
So
move towards the goal.
And you know what? And Ty Dre, the perfect example of us doing that, because I brought him in the loop, and you said, "Oh, okay, I don't know who he is," and look at that. Look at what happened.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And this is what you have to do. Open mind. Don't let your age close your mind to open the doors for things.
For something else. You know what I'm saying? I remember you like, I have Ty Dre, who at the time was Trouble Mal, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I have Trouble Mal. I have Trouble Mal. And I was like, who's Trouble Mal? He's like, I'm just telling you, man, Trouble Mal's going to be great, Rock. He's going to be great. He's young. He has a young perspective. And, you know, I'm not that guy, right? I'm not the guy that is closed-minded, right? That's not open to things, because my whole life has been based on me being open-minded, you know, to even do things. I mean, Shake What Your Mama Gave You isn't a record that I would have made. You know, I just had an open mind and did it. You know what I'm saying? So when Ty Dre came on the show, and the first time we was on, like, everything just clicked. It was like that. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be a dope show. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't know he knew OnStar. You know what I'm saying? And I know OnStar from Bishop Jordan's church, Zoe Ministries. And then it just kind of all became this good symmetry. You know, a very good dynamic. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. And nothing's permanent.
Yeah.
That's the deal. You know, the world is the world. You got to open your mind, kids. You know, it's not permanent. Ty Dre, speaking to kids.
Yes. I don't know how I feel about that, but thank you. I don't know if I like that transition.
What is happening, bro?
Ty Dre, your mask matches my hat, man.
I know, I did it on purpose. I knew y'all would have some type of Hip Hop Boulevard synergy color going thing. So I said, let me wear some red, because I knew you was wearing a red hat.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy one. I need one of those hats.
I need a hat.
I need a red hat.
I actually do need a hat. Life is good. First of all, I do want to just touch on what y'all was talking about at the beginning of the show, which I think is very, very powerful. You know, I definitely dealt with bullying growing up as a kid, you know, going to school in the hood of the Bronx, you know, in Monroe and Bronxdale and stuff like that, Southview. So being a kid from Mount Vernon, going there every day in elementary and middle school, it was definitely a progressive and transformational experience for me. Having to be in those just environments and situations and dealing with different people. And I am still a visual artist. So back then, you know, instead of dealing with my bullies, I would just draw them getting ran over by cars.
Right. He made cartoons and stuff.
Cartoons, and I show my dad and my mom, and they would show the teacher, and they just like, yeah, this is what he did in school today. And so, you know, that was my way of dealing with it. I did stand up to some of my bullies and fight them, but overall, though, I think it is very different now, Rock, about what you said about how bullying has changed. It's no longer really a physical thing anymore. It's definitely all through that matrix called social media and the internet. And I think it is 10 times worse than physical. Just the fact that things can go viral now. You know, like something that you're getting bullied for in your school can now be seen by millions of people if it just hits right, you know, the perfect cylinders, and now everybody is seeing you get bullied on a level, and people don't even know you, and they're bullying you, they're making fun of you now. So it's a very scary thing, and I think it is very important that we get younger generation, even my generation, all of us, to not get so caught up in that matrix of this is reality, because that's not reality. Us physically here, me being able to touch his shoulder, that's reality. That's real.
Right, that's real.
That's the real stuff. And the bottom line is what y'all said is the past is the past, the future is unsure. All that we know now is the present. So while you're living in that present, continue to create the possibilities that you can create while God has given you the time to do that. And, you know, things change. Everything changed. People change, things change, feelings change. So there's that. In others news, personal stuff, I was on your people's
IS Live Music Review.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very fun to be on that show. That was definitely great.
Maria and Jolie.
Yes.
You're meeting the family.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That was definitely fun. That was definitely fun. I would love to do that again with them.
Well, she wants to do your photo shoot because
Yes.
unfortunately you had to leave early. So
Yes.
she said that she'll do your photo shoot.
Yes, we definitely got to get that photo shoot.
I call them that different version of Wayne's World.
yeah, they are.
It does get Wayne's
Yeah, when I went there, I was like, okay, this is nice.
Right.
You know, like, all right, let's have some fun.
Right. That was
know.
definitely fun. What else has happened? Well, me and Rock, I ain't gonna go too in detail, but we had a great conversation. We talked on the phone for 4 hours.
Yeah.
No way.
Wow.
I have the proof.
He said, I got proof.
I had to screenshot it. I couldn't believe it.
I don't talk to nobody for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And we just, I mean, it was like, I was talking, like, it was a night that there was a thunderstorm. I'm sitting outside smoking a cigar and I'm just kicking it with him on the phone. And we're just talking about like life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff. And we just kind of just went on. And then I looked, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or some shit. I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we talked for a long time.
Yes, we was definitely talking about creating something, which is definitely gonna happen. I ain't gonna go too much in detail about it, but it just end up branching off into every single aspect of life, and that goes back to what you just said, Al, as far as just y'all being open minded to me and giving me the space to be welcomed in, and Rock has proved that, backing up what he says as far as he was just open to creating that by just staying on the phone with me for 4 hours and just having that deep conversation.
You are the door that's going to open up for everybody else, Tydre. You are that door.
Right.
Because believe me, we have a vast amount of friends in the hip hop world that probably haven't opened their eyes yet. But you are that door because we're bringing you in, and it's a testimony to not only your intelligence, okay, but the fact that you're able to understand and know some of the history, and sometimes you don't, and you say, "I never even heard of him."
Yeah.
And we give you that history. That is so important because the pioneers kind of feel like, "Oh man, these guys don't know what they're doing," and the young guys kind of feel like, they're old, bro. They used to do that.
Right.
We don't do that anymore. But everybody learns from everybody.
Correct.
And all you got to do is just have that conversation.
Right.
Have that dialogue. Just do that. So it's so great to have you here because see how you met IAS? Watch how the doors just start opening.
Yeah.
And then you could bring, and I was just talking to James Tate about this, you can't bring somebody up on the ladder if you're not on the ladder.
That's right.
You
Absolutely.
got to be on the ladder.
Absolutely.
First. Be on the ladder, and then you can pull somebody up.
Absolutely.
And then you go a step further up, and then you can pull somebody up.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's actually what you're doing with this. The whole show, the whole thing, it's enormous what's going to happen. It's a domino effect. And I know Rock, me and Gary, we watch this, and we see something happening a year from now, 2 years
Absolutely.
from now.
Right.
We're watching it. We're looking at it evolve. Because we know our friends.
Yep.
Right.
And we know, oh man, they don't know yet. But wait, they're gonna know.
And we've been part of that evolution. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started podcasting, I was paying somebody to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? And when I first started podcasting, I just did it just on some real, I just wanted to get my shit off. Let me get a mic and talk some stuff with my friends on a Friday night. We're going to drink and have fun. That's all it was to me. That's all it was. And then when I decided to branch off and build a studio and all of that, then something else happened, right? Because they say, the saying is, if you build it, they will come.
They will come.
Right? So I built it, and then I had the space, and I was just doing, just the real discussion with Rock Logic every Friday night and having fun. And then the next thing I know, someone's like, oh, we were talking about One Night and I did a speech at Ravenswood, and I was like, let's do a podcast. I got a place. And then that became a show, and then me and Al started kicking it, and I was like, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, well, come do the podcast. And then it was Jeff, and then it just evolved from a small drunken idea on a bench in the park, because that's all it was. Wow. I told Gary's like, I was on this podcast with this lady, whatever, and he's like, I left the podcast. I was like, oh, you got fired. He said, no, I didn't get fired. I left, right? And I turned to Gary and I said, you know what? And I'm gonna say it plainly. I said, fuck that.
We're gonna do our own.
We're gonna do our own podcast. And then that's kind of how everything evolved. When Al started doing Hip Hop Boulevard, it was a thought. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even a whole organization. It was just basically Al at that time. And I remember he was sending out, text messages and asking people if you want to be on the board and so on and so forth. And then the next thing you know, here comes an awards show. And then the next thing you know, he's involved in this, he's involved in that. And then the apparel was there. The logo's on all the apparel. And so if this is where we're at now, imagine where we'll be a year from now.
Right.
2 years from now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the evolution of things. I love it, man. And I'm down for that out.
Got to build a foundation.
By the way, Kathleen Pickney says, facts about bullying.
Thanks, Mom.
Absolutely. She's on it.
When Rock and I started this, it was literally an idea, and it was really supposed to be one show. And what one show turned out to developing into a podcast network, and to see the growth, right, and just visually from where we started to where we are now, the different shows that we have on, the reach that we have, the influence. 2 years ago or even a year ago, we couldn't think of having Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on our One Night show. You know what I mean? So that's the type of moves that's being made. So a year from now, sky's the limit here.
Come on. 3 weeks ago, I was all over CNN and Fox News because of Chuck.
Yep.
Right.
Chuck said something offensive about, children that are mentally challenged. It was the best thing that happened to me in the world.
He called him the R word.
He called him the R word. I remember he says, we were trying to help the little retarded children. And I went, oh.
He did not say that.
Yes, he did.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And my eyes went, oh, Chuck. Right? And, here's me, right? I'm like, a little podcast, a couple of thousand people. So I didn't even pursue it to go, Chuck, you mean mentally challenged. I was like, no one's going to see this. Next day, boom, we're all over the internet. We're on CNN, Fox News, Politico. And then you see me ask this question and Chuck answer this question. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Everyone's watching now. You know what I'm saying? So that's evolution. You know, man. I'm back out.
We were in probably 12 different major media publications. You talk about a snowball effect, and what they say in publicity, there's no such thing as bad press.
Right.
Right. So this is something that now you got people that's watching one night show, and not only One Night show, but now it's like, what else is these guys doing?
Yeah, they're popping on everything.
Yeah. Now they're popping right now. So and now they're seeing that this is not just one show happening. Now it's like, wait, something's happening here.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like the last guest we had on last week, her name was Sparkle.
Yes. Yeah.
Channel 11, Monica Morales was watching the show.
Yep.
Wow.
And then the next day,
the day after she
booked her on the show.
Yep.
So people are watching.
Yeah.
So this is the effect of being able to kind of be, universal in whatever it is that you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're not locked into a box. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I wanted to definitely talk about today was the fact that there are different organizations that do things. Mm-hmm. Support every organization. Regardless of how you feel, understand the organization.
Yeah, you're the master of that.
Right.
How about you do it all day?
Yeah. It is not. You can't preach to kids about we should do this and we should do that and all that stuff and rare and I'm going to look out for the kids and unity if you're not doing it yourself.
That's right.
It is an oxymoron on that, and and the kids pick up on it
Instantly.
in a quickness. So what you say to them kind of goes in one ear, goes out to the other ear. Yeah, you don't do that.
Right.
So you really got to understand that me taking the ambassadorship from Curtis Blow when he asked me to, I really thought about that because I said, I know Curtis' heart. And I know his heart was like, God first and family and all that second. I know his intention. I said, this is exactly what we all need. So it wasn't a hip-hop thing. It was a humanity thing. And a lot of us haven't learned how to deal with the basic social elements of talking, greeting, forgiving, forgetting, all those kind of things. People hold on to stuff for 20, 30, 40 years.
For sure.
And they bring that into their business or into a discussion
Or into their life.
and it spills over to their kids and their family members and all that. And before you know it, you got a group that's going, yeah, we don't talk to them. No, we don't talk to them. No, we don't deal with them.
Yeah.
And all that. And that is what destroys our culture. And I can say this with confidence. We come from a culture of his mother could talk to me if I'm a kid and see me doing something wrong. His mother could grab my ear
That's
and say,
right.
"What the hell you doing?"
Doing
with
that.
me?" And all that
That's
stuff.
right.
And
That's
go
right.
to my mother
That's
later
right.
and tell my mom, "You know what your kid was doing? I tried to pull his ear. I'm like, oh, you should have smacked him on the
Right.
behind."
And then your mother beat you.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
But that's the culture we come from.
That's right.
And it's funny how we have separated ourselves from that culture, from us, the way we were brought up, into this other entity, which I don't even understand, of I don't like him, I hate her, I don't talk to her. And it's with exes even, you have kids. And then, no, I don't want him on, you can't have him this weekend, but it's my weekend. No, you can't have him. So it's all over the place.
Right.
It's all over. So I'm glad that Curtis is doing this thing.
Now, what is this thing that Curtis doing? What is this
So
organization?
we're gonna let James Tate talk about that.
Yeah.
All right? And then we're gonna talk about all the stuff Hip Hop Boulevard thing, and then we're gonna surprise Ty Dre with the surprise I have for him too.
Okay.
So
Good.
whenever you're ready, you
So what I'll do, I'm gonna go to commercial.
All right.
Right, and then we'll bring James on. James will take your chair.
Okay.
Right, because I figured this stuff I got to do or whatever.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
would not
You
say
got
that.
doe-eyed when I was like, "You're gonna run the board today." He was like, "Yeah."
It's gonna be a good show.
God bless the show. So I'm gonna go to commercial, y'all, and then we're gonna bring on James
And
Tate.
please share this. Share this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting.
This is gonna be really. I do want to put his logo up before I even change it over.
There you go.
And that's the Humanity Coalition logo, Curtis Blow's logo, right there. I'm gonna go to commercial and about Dame Dash Studios and the things that's going on with that, with Talos Media and Lays Elliott, and then we'll be right back with James Tate. I just want to run that from the top real quick so you guys can see the whole thing.
Westwood, the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side. We sing the Westwood, the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side.
And we are back. And just so that you know what that is, what I just played is that's Talos Media, Lays Elliott, Damon Dash. Big shout out to OSG, Off School Grounds, Dennis McKeezy. They're transforming the educational system in New York and New Jersey. Big shout out to Principal Akbar Cook. What they're doing, what Talos Media is doing, is they're building recording studios and production studios in high schools for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with that. One school actually has a television studio that we built. Professional, everything professional. They called us in because we are experts in this game. You know what I'm saying?
Who's we?
And that's me and Lays Elliott from MOP, and Sierra Lomax and and Horace Fly, who's in there, and we do it. I order all the equipment. We did a podcast studio at PS 354 out in Queens, and they have the exact thing here. Fourth graders have this exact equipment.
Fourth graders,
yeah. Let me get clear. Fourth graders, I'm teaching, and I teach the class. I teach fourth graders how to podcast. You know what I'm saying? They have these microphones, this thing, the computer, the whole thing, and I got to tell you something, and they love it. One little girl, and we call it Introduction to Broadcasting. That's what we call it. And it's one little girl, it was her turn to go on the mic, right? And she goes, "Can I tell you something?" I said, yeah, what's up? She said, "This is going to change my life." And I just melted. I was like, "Oh, we're doing the right thing." You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is, and I just wanted to explain that real quick.
Why don't we bring in Ty Dre in there? Can we bring in Ty
Yeah,
Dre?
sure. And I'm going to swap out, and we are going to go to our special guest, James Tate, y'all. Come to the mic and let's talk about it.
Hey Ty, you got a little salt and pepper on your beard now. You just grew on me in 20, 30 years, man.
Yeah, come on, man. It's happening here. James, what is going on? What's happening with the organization? What are you guys about? Let's talk about it. I'm ready.
Well, my name is James Tate. I'm the ambassador for the Coalition for Humanity for the state of South Carolina. I came up here to collaborate with Al so that we could utilize the forces and combine our forces so that we could, help build a coalition. Of course, made me a part of Hip Hop Blvd, so I'm also with that.
Right.
Have another organization that I'm a part of that I'm working with out of South Carolina, and going back to the issues of we're speaking about suicide. We have a lot of youth that's killing other youth. I have an 11-year-old girl that was shot yesterday. The day before yesterday, I had three young men that were shot. 2 of them is dead. This like ongoing thing that's happening down there every day. So what we trying to do is find a way that we can bridge the gaps between our younger communities and the older communities, people that's went through, whether it's like you say suicide,
right,
or whether it was gangs, or whether it's any. The coalition is interested in helping people in any aspect of life. We have 8 components. We have human resources. We have the entertainment department.
Right.
And of course, I'm the vice chairman over the criminal justice department. We work in restorative justice, and what we're trying to do is educate our people in the community how to utilize their votes, how to pull their forces together and get things done in their communities.
Wow, that's big. That voting thing, which is interesting. Here's the deal, y'all, about voting, right? And I know y'all think, the vote, my vote don't count and all this foolishness. But let me tell you something. Here's common sense for you. No one has ever stolen anything that doesn't have value. You know what I'm saying? Like, amen. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So they're working hard, pushing legislation to take your vote. So if they're doing that, how could you in your mind think that your vote don't matter? You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
And James, mention some of the people that are ambassadors in different states, because I think Rock is going to be surprised.
Oh yeah, we have 36 states now, 37 states that we have ambassadors in, and we have 2 of the Jacksons on our board. I think one is in California. No, it's Vegas.
Okay.
And I think the other one's in Michigan. Who else, man? We got
Sarah
Dr.
Dash.
Ball, Sarah Dash.
Sarah Dash. Wow. Okay.
Stacey Lattisaw.
Stacey Lattisaw.
What?
part of that.
Let me be your angel.
The sister is working on.
I gotta meet her. Like I'm a fan.
You will, man. If
Yeah.
you're a part of this coalition,
Yeah.
you're gonna meet everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the object of the coalition, man, for us to unite
Right.
all organizations, any platform.
Stacey's very spiritual, isn't she? In religion now, heavy.
What it is, she got a women's shelter down in D.C. and her and her husband built this shelter and work out of it on their own pockets. So what we're trying to do is find resources to help them to develop and build their organization more.
Wow.
Look, I get on these Zoom calls, and
Go ahead, don't worry about it. I turned everybody up. Yeah.
Curtis got a Zoom call every day. Every day. All right? So that he does the ambassador call at least twice or 3 times a month.
Okay.
But he hits me up on a text. I'm on the Zoom call right now. Says, it's not the ambassador Zoom call. I said, okay, let me get on this Zoom call. So on the call, I was hearing from the guy from esports. Mm-hmm. So this guy is talking about, and I'm not talking about 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. I'm not talking about 500,000. He's talking in the millions of what he's doing with esports and what he's doing in different cities as far as setting up schools for kids to utilize their gaming to earn.
Right.
To earn.
Which is a big earning thing.
Oh,
Right.
it's huge. It's $1 billion business.
Right.
So this guy said, yeah, we could do that in your market.
Okay.
Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Another company that was involved in another. So what Curtis started right now is going to be a funnel. And you know how for people who don't have cards or anything, I know you're college kids, you know what a funnel is, you know?
Right.
So everybody pulls all their resources in there. They're going to come out concentrated
Right.
to each city that's involved. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about Black Wall Street. And then you're talking about this guy from esports. And you're talking about this other person and this other person and this other person. And it's all coming into this coalition.
Right. Wow.
We've certainly been blessed by, to have abundance of people with major influence to come forward on the strength of Curtis. And as he said, because they know Curtis hard as peer. I have another organization that I'm a part of. It's called the Hope. If you heard the Hope campaign in New York, where we went to alternatives to isolation. And the governor actually signed the Hop Blvd into effect last month. And as results of that bill, there's you're no longer able to lock a person in solitary confinement more than 15 days in the state of New York. Whereas before the bill was passed, they was locking people in the cell for 19 years.
Big shout out on that.
Wow.
And how do they expect for you not to become a savage?
That's right.
You know, you were isolated from people.
Right.
You know, you're going to be a savage when you come out.
Curtis was courteous enough to go to Albany with us, and it was an amazing experience to have him go up there with us. They actually, when we go in, I wasn't really prepared for what we had brought him to. And when we was going through the search type thing, the guards recognized who he was.
Right.
They sent someone from the floor, got us, took us to the floor, stopped the session, came down, took pictures with us and his family.
Wow.
And I had partners of mine that been going to Albany working with different campaigns for 15 years. Never been through those doors.
Mm-hmm.
But to the strength of the fact that we brought Curtis with us, man,
100%.
they came down, man. So his voice can certainly make a difference in what we're doing out here, man.
And what we got to remember is a lot of those politicians, right? You know, because I think that we don't really recognize the fact that we are the politicians. Our generation runs this thing.
Yeah.
So they know who Curtis Blow is. You know what I'm saying? They grew up with Curtis Blow. You know, they singing, I rule the world, like they bugging. So yeah, I mean that's we got to use it because these guys are our generation now. Our generation runs the planet.
And this is the if there's any takeaway that anybody who's watching the show now could take away from this is the power of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
This is the power of hip hop. And this is what we've been talking about with Hip Hop Boulevard for a long time. We can use hip hop in a positive way. I mean, water can be destructive. You know, you get an ocean dumping on you, and you're gonna destroy whatever is in its path.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take that same water and you funnel it, it could light up a whole city. So hip hop is in that same realm. And this is why we have to work together, build together to do the thing that we have to do, because we can do so much. And we don't think in that manner. We think very small instead of thinking very big.
Right.
And that's why I thought it was important to bring Mr. Tate in, and I thought the most important thing was to hear from Ty Dre, his perspective.
Right.
You know? Because you represent all the youth.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your perspective on this, Ty Dre?
Well, first, I just want to acknowledge you for what you just said as far as the bill that you passed, because like you said, Rock, it's very important that they're not confined to that for so long, because as humans, we're made to talk.
Yeah.
Without communication, this world goes to hell, to be honest. So we was made as beings to be able to communicate with somebody in some way. So when they're stuck in those confinements and they're trapped to just only talk to themselves in their head, like you said, they have no other option but to go
Be
crazy.
a savage.
Technically, yeah,
You're gonna be a savage.
to go crazy. So I think that is very, very powerful that you did that, because it's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and it's something that like me, probably a lot of people didn't even know that can be changed to what you just did. So that was very, very powerful.
Yeah,
I just wanted to acknowledge you on that. And I think this what Curtis Blow is doing, I mean, this is next level. Like, this is really next level. And like you said, like the fact that y'all are focusing on every aspect of life, you know, not even just for y'all generation, but for my generation and even younger, it's giving them that leadway to a better life at an early age, to know exactly what they want to do, what we want to do, what I want to do, and stuff like that. Like, even a simple thing of, like you said, learning about video games. That is $1 billion company or industry. It's $1 billion industry, whether it's through streaming, even being a video game tester. You know, it's millions of dollars in that. Learning podcasts and learning how to do music at an early age. I mean, I definitely had those opportunities as a kid, but it definitely wasn't being presented in actual public schools, and in general, the way that y'all are doing it. So I think that what y'all doing is very special for the next generation coming up and for the future. And like you just said, which is great. I was gonna say it, so I'm happy you said it. This is the power of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, just you saying how you able to take Curtis Blow in the jail and everything changed. All the rules is thrown out the window once you see Curtis Blow, and y'all not there for meet and greet. Y'all there for important business. You know, so I think that just shows the power of hip hop on showing other artists, other moguls, what can be done.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and I think it does need all the attention in the world, because a lot of people probably don't even know this is happening right now, and what y'all doing could change the world. So
shout out to Curtis Blow, man.
Word up.
I didn't mention this organization have reached us.
Come forward.
This organization has put us in a position to reach people that's worked with us in an amazing capacity. We got a gentleman out in Illinois. His name is Andy Williams. This gentleman filed a lawsuit in 36 states that attacks the 13th Amendment, of the United States Constitution.
Which is what?
Which says that they can use slavery as a badge of honor. So what we're saying is we're trying to take that language out of the Constitution, because that 13th Amendment is what they use to get away with murder. When they kill one of us, they say that we did it in our job capacity. The 13th Amendment covers
Allows
people.
that.
What it does is, like the hypocritical oath come up under the 13th Amendment. The judges come up under the 13th Amendment. This allows them, if they make a mistake, you don't be liable. If it's a mistake. But if you step outside of your official capacity, act in your individual capacity, you're liable. When they murder someone, and I say murder, that's liability. If you're doing your job and you got to do something, that's what the 13th Amendment.
And you murder somebody.
Well, I mean, if I'm shooting at you, you shoot me back, and it's your job to shoot at me.
Right.
That's one thing.
Right.
But if you just want to shoot at me just because you want to shoot at me, because you got a gun, because you can, that's the murder side. The 13th Amendment doesn't cover that. And what we have to do is have our youth to understand that language so that they'll understand their constitutional, their human rights. I think those are the curriculums that should go into the schools now, because what I'm concentrating on through our organization is re-educating. Because after the July 6th, I got very little for Democratic Republican parties. That I'm working actually with the same brother.
The January 6th thing.
January 6th, the insurrection. January 6th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That showed me, if you can kick down the White House doors and put your feet on the desk, I don't have no more faith in nothing that you're doing.
In the system, yeah.
Nothing that you're doing. That's why my brother Andy, same brother that filed the lawsuits on the 13th Amendment, he developed what we call the Democratic Republican Independent Party. And what we're trying to do is utilize our own forces and come together as a party so that whatever's going on, if it's right, whether you're Democratic, I'm with you. If it's wrong, I'm still with you. I'm gonna bring that noise to you. And if either party, it don't make no difference.
You know what I like about that? Because we had a conversation about that on the show, on Friday night show, actually, on the Real Discussion. And that thing that you're doing is what we said. We said we don't need to be tribal, right? Minorities shouldn't be tribal. It should be, if you're if the Republicans have a great idea, then that's how we moving. If the Democrats have a great idea, that's how we moving. And that's how we get the result of the power of our vote, right? Because we're tribal, and the Democrats, they come, and you only see them during election time, right? They come, and they're in the hood, and they come see us, and they promise us all kind of stuff. And then when the election's over, nothing. They disappear. And all those promises are broken, and we don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So what you're talking about is what we were actually speaking. What you're doing is what we were speaking about on the show. So it's ironic because that is your vote is your power, yes. But when you go, you know what? As minorities, we are no longer tribal. We moving out of the Democratic Party. We're becoming our own party. And we will vote Democrat or we will vote Republican.
Whatever we feel,
we're going to roll. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody's coming to see us. Right? Now, that increases or creates accountability.
Yeah.
Right? You want my vote? Then this is what you're going to do for me.
Yeah.
This is what I need in my community. This is what I need for my people. So, that's powerful. I love that, bro. I'm already there.
Well, look at this. And I'm going to say this, and then we're going to get into all the Hip Hop Boulevard stuff.
Yeah.
But I met two individuals with Mr. Tate, two. And I was blown away with the two individuals. I'm going to tell you the story of one individual. Okay? So one individual, and we're talking about five. We're talking about five. That's his name. Now, I'm gonna make this simple. Why is he called Five, Mr. Tate?
He did 5 years in solitary confinement.
Yeah, like that. So this guy, guess where he lives at? Rock? Tintin Avenue.
The Bronx?
In the Bronx.
Over
by Forest. There you go. So he grew up with all of us. I didn't even know this guy until he introduced me to him. And he didn't even know me.
Right.
And so he's doing all these spectacular things within guys that come out of jail, shelters for young women, shelters for young men. He's buildings and all that stuff. That's what he's doing. Effectively, he told me, he said, I don't want to deal with people who are just full of it and people who say this and that. I just want to deal with people who are going to do something. That's why I'm about the community. That's it. That's the one individual. And I met the second individual.
He's the founder of Incarcerated Nations. That's his.
That's what it's called.
Incarcerated Nations.
Incarcerated Nations. I like that
He's the
name.
founder.
That's dope.
So I meet the second individual. Name is Quincy. So Quincy had a credit repair company. Now I'm going to tell you what was outstanding about what he did, because there's plenty of credit repair companies all over
Sure.
the place. So he took 1,700 people that just came out of the jail and took the worst out of the 1,700, took 500 of them, and said, I'm gonna fix your credit. And I'm gonna do it on my dime. And took it, and in 6 months, fixed their credit, and only have 4 out of the 500 that he couldn't fix their credit within that time frame.
And that
Four.
That was because they didn't do whatever.
Their due diligence.
Yeah, they didn't do what
They didn't follow the program.
So-
500, only 4.
So just with dudes to, and you know, Rob, the first thing I said, you got to do something with Hip Hop Boulevard. That's it.
Yeah,
we got to
100.
do things together, and that's it. So we're rolling with that. But this is why I always try to tell people, build that bridge, cause you know, like you have the Third Avenue Bridge,
Yeah.
but then you got the George Washington Bridge, then you got the Verrazano Bridge, and sometimes bridges are longer. You know, they bring you to a place that you haven't been there before because this is how long it is.
Yeah.
And these are these individuals that they bring us to a place that we have not been, but now we could be right there because we're connected with that individual.
Yeah, and credit's very important, gang. You know, like,
Nowadays, absolutely.
you know, I mean, credit is the deal. You know, and
I'm going to see, can we get Quincy to come through?
Yeah, I would love that.
Do a thing. The name of his company is Credit Concepts. You can pull him up.
I love that.
Credit Concepts. That's Quincy.
You got all these dudes with cool names. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Incarceration Nation. You know, like.
He have an office over on 125th. He got one up in the Bronx.
I probably
Then he
know
got
that, 'cause
one.
I know
You
that-
gotta
I
know
know that
Quincy.
company. I
And
know
Quincy is in
Wow.
N5. There's some.
So
And I just got into the credit game like recently, you know what I'm saying? Like to straighten out my credit. And what I realized about, first of all, the value of credit is powerful, right? That it determines how much interest you're going to pay on anything you get, from a car to a home or whatever, right? Yeah, the higher your credit is, the lower your interest is going to be. That's just that flat. But now, just to bring it to sort of like the everyday living, I have no problem paying off my credit cards. I have no problem doing it, because you know what it is to me? It's just a transfer of money. I still got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I spend $800 on a credit card, right, and then I make enough money to pay it back, right, and I don't buy anything that I don't need and that I can't pay back, I'll go, you know what? You know, if I want to ride it a little bit and make some payments, I'll make some payments, but big payments. Or I'll blanket almost to zero, and then my credit does this. But the thing is, you still have the money available. You still have access to the money. So it's really just a transfer of money from one place to the next. It's not like you lose it. You know what I'm saying? So that's been a thing for me.
It's another amazing component that he had. He has his son. I think he said he was like 12 years old, something like that. They have. He's connected. In fact, they gave him what it is, a partnership with Equifax for the kids to train them how to use their credit, how to handle their own credit. That way, that the mother or the father that's get strung out later on don't be able to take your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just teach you how to be in control of your own credit,
Right.
as a kid.
So he's teaching financial literacy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just two individuals.
right.
And this is this all I gotta say is that not only will the coalition grow, but Hip Hop Boulevard grows, and not only if Hip Hop Boulevard grows, the pioneers grow, and the pioneers grow, everybody in the hip hop culture grows. It's just a quicker way to our goal.
Right.
Great. So now let's talk about stuff that's happening, man.
Yeah, listen.
Yo,
We already know.
I see the chat room. I know we talk. Look,
we already
had to
know.
talk about this stuff. We had to.
We already know that the show's going to be longer than an hour. Okay, I knew that when we walked in the door, so I wasn't sweating it. You know what I'm saying? It's already 3 o'clock. So let's just keep on going and get the information now. If we're done by 3:30, I'm happy.
Literacy is very important in the hip hop community because look how many artists
A suffering.
Oh yeah.
we hear all the stories all the time, even with established artists.
That's Gary. If you guys hearing that, that's Gary. Gary, because Ty Dre's here, and
And the gas, and we put Gary on homeboy punishment.
Homeboy punishment.
Nice, good.
Look,
So it's important that financial literacy is taught, and especially to upcoming artists and even the older artists, because I mean that's where it's at.
And not even just artists, just people in general.
yeah,
You know, because they didn't bring that up to me whatsoever growing up in school.
Right.
At
That's
all.
not taught to us. That's not
Yeah.
taught to, that's not taught to us. So we gotta learn. So
and understand that Princeton, Yale, and all these Ivy League schools, that's what they teach you.
don't get me started.
They're focusing on that.
Exactly.
All right.
With
So
a
now,
big shout out to
yeah.
Principal Akbar, by the way, because he does that in his school out in Newark, Westside High. They actually have a Credit One bank in the school
Wow.
that the kids run.
Really?
They run the logos there and the whole thing, and these kids they run the bank. So I believe we're about to change conversations. Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to commercial, and when we come back, we will talk about everything that's going on in Hip Hop Boulevard and beyond. All right, we'll do that.
It was hot.
It's in the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side. It's in the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side.
And I'm going to just put up the logo real quick, Curtis Blow's logo. And that is the logo of the Humanity Coalition, right? And I guess you can Google it online and find it. We didn't get a website. Do we have a website? Do we have a website on that? All right. So you can definitely Google it online. And I meant to ask, are they taking donations or anything? They are. Okay. So if you want to donate to the Humanity Coalition, I guess go. James, you guys take donations, right?
Oh, yes, you can go to the webpage, and on the bottom of the webpage, you'll be able to make donations. You'll be able to join. You can go through, and you can see our board of directors. Everything is right there on the webpage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys make sure you go and check that out. And we are back. So I'm going to shoot this over to Al. Al, what is going on in the hip-hop world and the hip-hop boulevard world? What's happening, bro?
Well, first thing, big shout out to Grandmaster Cash,
Oh yes, Crotona Park.
the friend of Katona Park, Vanessa Gibson, Windows of Hip Hop, all that stuff. They came back, and they came back strong. We were all out there supporting him and taking care of, and just saying hello. It was like a whole family thing. Kid Capri was there, Cash Money was there DJing. I mean, amazing, amazing day. And you know what I love about this event is that a lot of people don't understand that hip hop has a bad rep, and in reality,
Hey, Dad, close the door.
hip hop has a bad
Push her out.
an extra sound effect we didn't need.
We're live, everybody. We're live.
Hip hop has a bad rep, and when we do events like this, and nothing happens, and everybody's enjoying themselves and everything, it goes to show you that the rep is exaggerated. It's certain individuals. It's definitely the way you run whatever it is that you're doing. There's a lot of things to it that causes a problem in an event, and it's not everybody's event that happens to.
Right.
And it was a jam-packed park. It was beautiful. Grandmaster Cass, Moon of the Hip Hop, and friends of Katona, Vanessa Gibson, all that. Shout out to you. I enjoyed myself. It was really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was this?
This was Thursday, and they're going to have another one this Thursday coming up.
Okay.
What do you got going on this week?
Oh, let's talk about what we're going to do August 7th.
Yes, please.
So remember we used to do the panel.
Yeah.
Before the virus hit,
Yes.
we were doing panels on different topics. And the last panel we did was in Connecticut, and it was powerful. A lot of people were really happy about these panels and all that. And what we do is we always proud to be able to talk about something, deal with that something, and bring closure to that something right there on the panel.
Right.
So that's our focus. Our focus are, if we're going to talk about, because I've been to thousands of panels, and what happens is you talk about a subject, everybody gets their applause, everybody talks about who they are, and then they pick and choose who they want to question, ask a question, and then the panel's over, and that's it.
Yep.
So there's a whole different setup. So it's Hip Hop Boulevard presents Health and Life panel, and this is what it's going to be about. We just lost Bismarcky.
Yes.
To diabetes. I want everybody to understand that we talked about this topic before the virus, and we're going to talk about it continuously until we help people that want to get help. Because the one thing I know is that we can't help people if you don't want to get the help. So we're talking to those people that want to get the help. So we have Empire Blue sponsors, and the sponsors are coming. They've been watching us and listening to us, and it's funny because when we did the award banquet for Melly Mel, B-Boy Speedy brought Empire Blue over, and when they brought them over, and Combined Insurance, our old friends from Combined Insurance was there, they just said, what you want to do? Let us know. We got you. And we've been waiting for that door to open for a year and a half, and the door has opened. So now we have a spot. We're gonna do it on a Saturday morning, and we're so serious about what we're doing that we set this thing up in a manner that's going to only the people who show are the people that want to get help, the people that are serious about what we're talking about. So we do it 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Nice.
We already know you party Friday. We already know 9 o'clock in the morning, man. If I ain't working, I'm sleeping. We already know all that stuff. But this is why we do this.
Depends on the age. Yeah. Come on. When's the last time you've been to a party that you was out at 4 in the morning? The new way we
Last
party,
Thursday.
we go from
Last
1 to 6.
Thursday.
Oh, oops, my bad.
Speak for
Because
yourself.
I know. Right now, we all doing like the 1 to 6 program. I'm just saying, like, we in bed by 9. I know I am.
Yo, look, this is an incredible opportunity. So we're going to do it in collaboration with the coalition. And what we're going to do is we're setting up this panel, and I'm hijacking Ty Dre if he can make it to be on this panel. All right, 9 o'clock in the morning to 12. And this is the kicker. We're feeding you free breakfast.
Free breakfast.
You don't have to pay to come to the panel. Free. Everything is free. All you have to do is just get there. Seating is limited because we don't got a huge place. We hold about 120 people.
Where you doing it at?
We're going to do it on 135th Street and 3rd Avenue.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna give the address on our website, and we're gonna post. We're gonna make a flyer on it and all that. So Rodney C is already gonna be on the panel. All right, Big Jeff is gonna be on the panel.
Big Jeff.
All right, we're trying to get K Slade to be on the panel.
Okay.
All right, so we're talking panel with health people, health experts, and hip hop pioneers, and of course our youth in the hip hop game. We're combining it all. And this is going to be the beauty. If you really feel that you got your answers, your questions answered at the panel, and you said, I need help now, we're gonna be able to help you right
good.
there.
Excellent.
They're gonna be set up right there to help you right there. And that's the purpose of this panel, to be able to help people there. And I'm gonna get IAS to be involved,
To come and
so
film,
people
yeah.
online
Yeah.
could view it and all that. And we're getting 5 involved in this thing. And our panels are. I thought I was gonna do this once a month, Rock. But after meeting Quincy, I think we're gonna do it at least 2 or 3 times a month.
Nice.
Because we have we have the people now that can deliver on the subject matter that we need to discuss.
On the spot.
Right,
They
on
can
the spot.
they can bear a result.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's August 7th. August 16th
Put that on the calendar.
in Philly, we're gonna do something. Can't mention what it is.
Okay.
All right.
It's my daughter's birthday.
In Atlanta, we're gonna do something. Can't mention what it is. I don't even have the month for that.
Okay.
Okay. You know that we're almost finished with our Hip Hop Boulevard Awards. Our next award recipients is going to be Fat Joe and Master Flex, and we're waiting for them to give us a date. Big Jeff is going to give us that date this week.
Okay.
And then that's going to be at Jimmy's. And this is a paid event because there's a full dinner.
Yeah.
And the dinner is great. I mean, you get a full dinner and dessert.
And dessert.
All right. So, and what happens is that
How much was the tickets?
$65.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Because I gotta talk about this.
All right. So
That event was, I wasn't even there. Right, so I didn't know. So I had bought 2 tickets, and at the time, that's when the kidney stone thing struck. It strikes you, right? I was struck down, and Rocky went, and somebody else went in my place.
I did.
And I got to tell you, what was really crazy is when they showed me the food at this event.
Oh yes.
Right? It was worth every cent.
Yes, it was.
I mean, it was a full spread. It was a full thing, and the food and the drinks. I mean, this was like, y'all need to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a night out.
Right.
It was great. I saw that.
And then, and
that
then
wasn't no
Mel,
punk food.
look, Melly Mel was so gracious. He stood to the very end, took pictures with everybody. So if you haven't met these individuals and you see them from afar, from an event you're going to, and there's 2,000 or 3,000 people there, and you see them on the stage, this is that intimate award ceremony when you get to say hello to your icon, to your role model,
Right.
to this person that you grew up on his music. This is that opportunity. This is that time. Is there value on that? If you could meet Michael Jackson, sit down and talk to him when he was alive and all that, how valuable would that be
Sure.
to you? So this is that kind of thing.
Right. That you can take pictures with people. I mean,
Absolutely.
if Flex is there and Joe is there and they're there, they're interacting with the audience. They're interacting with the crowd. Like, okay, hey, you want to take a picture? All right, come on. You want to. So yeah, I mean, so now you get a great meal, and then you get to take a picture with your favorite artist or someone
Yeah.
you grew up with or a favorite DJ. Like, that's crazy. I love that.
So Renee Minkins and Big Jeff are doing a great job with that, and now we got a couple of sponsors that are stepping up to do the 2020 Hip Hop Boulevard Awards, which is 40 recipients are going to receive that award. So I'm really excited about that. We now have 2 locations that we're looking at. One of them is gorgeous. Mr. James Tate, is that gorgeous? He's not in his head because he's got food in his mouth. He's not in his head. Yeah. Yo, the spot, Rock, nobody's been there yet.
Okay.
The spot is movie studio kind of spot.
Nice.
Oh, I'm ready to come hang out.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this is gonna be great, and again, for hip hop, by hip hop, which is important.
Right.
You guys gotta understand, Hip Hop Boulevard is not mine; it's yours. It's your company.
Right.
Your company. You're the one building this company. You're the ones making it happen. Because every one of these panels, everything that we're doing is to help, encourage, empower, preserve, and build.
Right.
So that's that.
Okay.
Now, the red hat.
Yeah, I see
Yo,
what's happening.
just came out yesterday.
You got an extra one?
Exclusive.
Just
got
came
extra
out
one?
yesterday.
You got an extra one? You got one in the car out?
I brought a couple.
Good.
Premiere.
Yeah.
Just you know what to do.
And look, this.
Oh, trademark.
Trademark. There we go.
I
Excellent.
love that.
Wow.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
buddy.
we ain't playing.
I need one.
We ain't playing.
Just saying.
World premiere.
Look,
You know, I'll pay you later. I'm good for it.
Look, Tuesday we're gonna be with Peso, the Fearless Four, at the Wild Style Amphitheater in Manhattan, supporting his event. That he's
Oh,
doing
it's
over there.
Tuesday.
It's
I'm
Tuesday.
going to that. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, okay.
So that's what we're gonna do over there.
Nice.
What else do we got? Oh,
Any
what? James is raising his hand. What's up, James? Yeah, we're gonna say something. We're not gonna say something. Okay, that's not that. These guys know already, James. You don't know. This is what I do. Okay, so we had a. Go ahead,
Al is the king of the cliffhanger.
he is.
Cliffhanger king.
We made a big move with our DMX project just this week.
Uh-oh.
Huge move.
Uh-oh.
So the DMX thing is now in full effect, and we are just waiting for an announcement so we can say it's on and a
Right.
date and give you a date and location.
So it's a definite.
It is a definite. Okay, so
Major.
that's in effect. We're also going to work on something. I don't know, for those people that don't know, this is the 50th anniversary for the Gang Peace Treaty. Back in the days with the black spades and the turbans and the javelins and the 70 models and all that.
Yep.
Right. So we're going to do something in reference to that, addressing the gun violence. So we're working on that also. Okay. We want to congratulate the Universal Hip Hop Museum. They're doing Orchard Beach. First time hip hop's coming to Orchard Beach in this capacity.
Yep.
All right. So we want to correct. Tilo Rock hit me up yesterday. Yo, Al, I'm gonna be performing at Orchard Beach.
Okay, so you know right now, tomorrow morning, LG, if you're listening,
LG probably is.
I'm going to call you about why I am not on that bill. Okay? I'm not hostile.
I
No,
want it out there.
I'm not hostile.
Look, I talked to Tone, and he said, "Yeah, the co-chorus is gonna be there." So it's a great moment for hip hop. Understand, and I keep on telling people this. Don't let your feelings get in the way of your vision and your goals. I'm gonna leave that like that. All right. So
With what? With what?
Gary, hey, you're here.
You're funny. You're funny. To piggyback a little bit off of what Al was saying, the Universal Hip Hop Museum, they did a press conference with the mayor,
Yes, Mayor de Blasio.
Bill de Blasio, and it's actually 5 events around the city that they're going to be doing, and it's all hip hop. So,
Nice.
I mean, it's a testimony to how far hip hop has come,
Right.
the political support of hip hop, and showcasing the pioneers. So this is something major. This is something really, really major.
Undeniable.
Oh, yeah. 5 boroughs, huh?
Yeah.
so now
It's a lot of boroughs you can be in.
LG.
A lot of
I'm
options,
calling you
Rock.
tomorrow about this, LG. I mean, I like to represent the Bronx, which is where I'm from, but Queens is good, Brooklyn's good. I want to listen. Any stage you put me on, I'm just saying. Now there's 5 events, huh?
5.
Yes, 5.
Started out with just Orchard Beach.
You have options.
I feel I'm getting limited information here.
So let's talk about the surprise for Ty Dre.
Wait, before we even get there, first I want to say this is all great information. Do you have any more information on Mr. Chicken? Any at all?
Well, this is the surprise.
Oh,
Ty
this
Dre.
is a surprise. How ironic, huh? How ironic. I've been thinking about Mr. Chicken since.
So
IAS.
Ty Dre, not even the company knows this.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
So Ty Dre, this is what I would suggest, and this is what I would like to do. Why don't we do a meet and greet with Mr. Chicken, with everybody that you could gather,
Okay.
DJs, other MCs, and all that, and we invite some pioneers, all that kind of stuff, and let's make it a real, like a who's who of the youth and a who's who of the pioneers
Okay.
combined to meet Mr. Chicken.
I think that's
How's
very
that?
smart. I think that's very smart. He just did something with 300 ENT, which is the record
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So he's making real moves.
Yeah.
Real moves. So I think that'll be very, very dope to do.
I'm just saying, I want to be a part of his marketing campaign. Because we're going to open up a chain of fried chicken restaurants called Mr. Chicken. I'm just like, it's the only way to go now.
Yep.
You know, let's,
I mean, that would be great promotion, free promotion. Put them in a.
So
chicken
let's
spot.
do that. All right. I'm going to talk to the company tomorrow, and I'm going to tell them this is what I want to do with Mr. Chicken, a meet and greet with everybody at one location. Let's do it at Jimmy's. Jimmy's been real good to us and everything. Let's feed everybody. Let's do photo. Let's do all that kind of stuff. But bring it, Ty Dre. Give me the list, and I want those DJs that you're introducing me to, that I only met through you, to be there, and reach for the stars, buddy. Let's make a list. You know, and Rock, same thing. Know what I'm saying? Gary, same
Okay.
thing. Let's do something very impressive, and one day where this guy can meet all the DJs and MCs that he can meet in one sitting.
one sitting.
Okay.
In one sitting. That never been done other than I think the Mix Show Power Summit.
Oh my God! Oh yes,
remember
that's
that?
Name it clean.
Oh my God! Legendary. Yes.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's do it within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right, and let's just knock it out the park.
Okay.
I'm in, people.
Yep.
That's dope.
I think it's awesome.
All
I just
right.
want to go back to suicide for 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
All right. No, bullying. I'm sorry, bullying.
Oh, okay.
Because I meant to say this to you, right? Because you said you were dealing with bullies and how you dealt with bullies, right? My son, who was 7 years old, you know how he dealt with his bully? He made a shank, right? At 7 years old, right? He took 2 popsicle sticks, right? And he sharpened them up, right?
He's very creative.
And then he tied them together,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And he was gonna shank his bully. It was a shank. So I go to school that day, and the teacher's like, "Mr. Smith, can you come? Can we talk?" I was like, "Yeah." Elijah made this, and I said, "What is that?" She said, "Well, what does it look like?" I said, "It looks like 2 popsicle sticks with a sharp end." You know, it's just yes, it's a shank, and he was going to use that to deal with his bully. So we were walking home, and I remember just laughing, right? Because I was like, damn, you are your father's son. I would have did that too, boy, you know. And I was very proud of him going to defend himself, and his ass got creative. I was very proud of it, but, you know, then I had to be, you know, I said, listen, you better never do that again. You know, I had to be the dad, but I was like, look at this kid here. Yeah,
What a
I'd have done the same thing.
What a creative kid.
What a creative kid. He's very creative.
When I was younger, actually, I was the one that sort of beat up the bully because my mom was like, "Look, if there's somebody that bother you in school, you better, like, don't make me have to come up there and find out that you're crying." So, like, you better.
You had no choice.
Exactly.
See, there was no bully support when we were growing up.
Exactly. There was none of that. So, yeah, I was the one that had to sort of beat up the bully. But more importantly, on this suicide, it's I had a friend who was in high school, and the day before he killed himself, he was he came in school, he was happy, everything was cool. The following morning, you know, we all come in at school and we find out that he hung himself the night before, and we were all shocked. So fast forward to now, where everything is online now. I mean, it can be very traumatic for a lot of these young kids now, where they feel that, you know, there's no way out. It used to be maybe 30 kids in your class may make fun of you. Right? Now it's like you got, you know, this whole social media world.
Yeah, thousands.
So it's really hard on a child's mind, especially if the child has low self-esteem. So there's definitely something we have to do about that and see how we can curb it and sort of tone it down, because social media really is dictating what's going on. Right. I mean, all these kids.
Social media sucks.
I'm just saying, but
It sucks.
this
because, and I gotta say this because Facebook and all that stuff, they go and they curb whatever we do, whatever we say.
Right.
But then they allow some crazy stuff.
Absolutely.
That they put out there. They put you in Facebook jail for all kind of different stupid stuff, but let everything else slide. Social media, look, if you're gonna give us a platform to talk and speak our mind, then let us talk and speak our mind. If you're going to reprimand somebody for certain things, then it goes for everybody.
Then it goes for everybody, right? Right. You can't pick and choose.
And the government, the government getting involved in the social media aspect. You guys are worse. You guys don't have a clue about nothing. And you're going to try to go into social media now and try to dictate rules and all that kind of stuff. Man, Mark, you need to just step up. And all these social media companies, you need to understand that everything is not permanent.
No.
It's not permanent, you know? And sooner or later, hopefully more sooner than later, there'll be something else. And then we're going to see what they're going to do. And hopefully it'll be a minority that invents it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And keep it in a minority neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
All right? And do that kind of thing.
You saw Instagram, just to end on that, you saw Instagram, they added now where they have, they are limiting what you see.
Yeah.
On it's like it's an option now where you can say, oh, I want to see less. I forgot the exact word, but just less crazy things. You can choose whether you want everything.
You can edit your thing,
or just whatever. But they don't. They choose what they consider as too much.
Right.
You know?
There's algorithms, right?
Yep.
That they always update. So
Of course.
at one point in time, remember you could see a lot like everybody's stuff on your timeline.
Yep.
Well, as Facebook updates their algorithms, they've limited what you can see, and that's because they want you if it's something that you're looking to promote or market, they want you to pay
them. Yep.
to get to a wider audience. So yeah, it's.
Man, if I got 5,000 friends, I want 5,000 friends to see my post.
Well, I'm just
Not
saying.
200 people.
I know,
What the hell's
but
wrong with that? What's going on with you guys? This Facebook and all that.
You got outstarted.
So we have hit the 3:30. So I got to bounce because I got the One Nitro show coming up next. We got to transition. But what I do want to say is this, right? We're in gear with the Hip Hop Boulevard label.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about
With
that.
with the distribution through Sony.
Orchard
And,
Sony, yes.
Now we have a studio that we can either master the records that are submitted or actually mix the records that are submitted. I'm sending records to Al like every day. I'm like,
Yes.
I want to put this on the album, Al. Come on, put me on the album. Right? But just to say that, and to all you guys that are participating in it, you don't have to master the record. I can master the record in the studio that I have. And if you don't want to mix it, you're not sure, you can send the files, we can mix the record and really create a cohesive, album, in spite of the fact it's a compilation. Also on the Boardwalk Global Media front, right? And this is the heat I'm going to bring to Hip Hop Boulevard, by the way.
Okay. Talk
Right?
that.
Because I'm bringing heat right now.
Talk that.
Right. So when we first started this thing, I had a record that I put out, which was 3 years ago, and I did 2.5 million streams on it,
Humble brag.
And, it was cool,
He got the plaque.
Yeah, I got the plaque on the wall. And then now just, because I wanted to know, was this a fluke, right? Wasn't a fluke. Signed a group called KDW. They're 16, 17 years old. We put out a record called Nowadays, and that record just cracked 100,000 streams.
Ooh. Yeah.
100,000 streams.
Boardwalk Global Media.
So I'm bringing that heat to the Hip Hop Boulevard album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could do 100,000, and you got to understand something. These are just kids.
Right.
Nobody knew them. It was a brand new record, and we did 100,000 streams on that, which is gold in streaming.
Yep.
Nice.
So they went gold in streaming. So big shout out to that. They did a great job, and the record ended up in a movie, and they're getting an Emmy for that.
Whoa.
It was like a made-for-TV movie or something, and they acted in it, and the song in it, and they've been nominated for an Emmy. So, good things are happening here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you want to be involved in it.
Right.
And it's real, y'all. You know what I'm
real.
saying? It's real. We just need to get the music together, get the artists together, and I have the contracts now. All right, so on me, y'all, if I haven't sent it out to you yet, I do have it. I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I'm going to start dishing out the contracts so you guys can go over them and sign them, and we can get this album going, because potentially what I would like to do is, I guess realistically, say like first quarter of next year.
Okay.
Cut loose and let it rip. You know what I'm saying? Once we receive everything that we need. How many songs you put on the album now?
12.
12. Okay.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So have we found a match for Ari?
No, we haven't found a match for Ari, but
I know we were talking about
Yes.
Sha Rock, right?
we were talking about Sha Rock, but I don't know if that's realistic.
Oh, okay.
A Sha Rock thing. I'm just being honest,
All right.
you know.
All right.
But Rodney C talked to me the other day.
Oh, okay.
And Rodney C, I want to be down.
Okay.
Hold on, see? You know, there's things going on around me that I'm not privy to the information. Once again, y'all keep Rock Logic in the dark. Why do I gotta hear from the chat room? Let me see here. Where is this at? Congratulations, Ty Dre, on your new article in the Source magazine.
What's up with that?
Okay, you see, well, you know.
Oops.
I got
3:30. End the show.
I'm saying, you know, I don't really like what's going on around this table that I am the
Yikes.
last to know anything.
Yikes.
You know what I'm saying? What's up with the article, man? And by the way, that freestyle you did on, what do you call it? What show you was on? You sent it to me.
Oh, yes.
With the freestyle.
The freestyle I did on Power 105
Yeah, I saw that.
radio.
That was crazy. We
on
didn't
the
talk
radar.
about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, what's going on here?
It's a lot happening.
Yeah.
That happens fast. And yes, I got Goat Mode in the Source magazine.
Okay.
So they was promoting the music video and everything like that.
When is that?
Yes,
Put it
you-
on the show
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir.
be like, these are the great things that are happening
I'll
at
send
this
it to you.
table.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, it's like, come on, what is this? Humility is not where it's at.
Communication. That's the
That's
topic
all I need.
of
Communication.
this show today. Communication. Gary, you got anything you're hiding?
If I got anything in writing.
No, you're
No,
hiding.
that you're hiding.
Oh, I'm not hiding nothing.
All right.
Okay.
So
Making sure.
we need to get clear. We got fibro shows, shit going on. I ain't on that. My man got an article in the Source magazine. Power 105 is happening. Come on, stop. You know, come on, man. Come on.
I just bring the facts. I just
Right.
bring the facts.
Bring the facts.
So listen, I'm gonna punch out because I got to do this show. Thank you, Diane Cameron. Great show as always. That's down in Australia, down under, and it is the evening time. You know, matter of fact, it's got to be about 3 in.the morning that she's watching the show. So, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Right? What's the
Yes.
date gonna be? August.
Oh, jeez.
August 7th is the panel.
August 7th is the panel.
Right, and what's our next date that we're here? That's Gary Facts. Come on.
Come on, facts.
Provide the facts.
Get right.
Facts.
And in the meantime, we want to thank James Tate for coming on and sharing all the great things that he's
August
doing.
8th.
You know, fantastic. Thank you
15th. No,
for coming
you're right,
on.
you're right,
you know,
you're right, you're right.
and sharing that information.
Definitely right.
I'm gonna.
We should
Yes.
give Big Jeff a shout out because he just got a proclamation.
Yesterday.
Yeah, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Big Jeff got a
Ralph
proclamation
McDaniels
in
and all
Queens.
them.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I just got to.
Yeah, when we.
So you was hiding something.
You are hiding something.
You was hiding something. I told you.
Hiding something. Right next to you.
Everyone has their
Right
secrets.
next to you.
He tried to slide it in before we got off the show so you couldn't get him. You think you're slick.
Thank you, Gary, for letting me know.
I'm supposed to know too.
Nah. No, listen, I want to get clear. No, we're trying to throw that shit off. Here's the deal. Ty Dre specifically asked you, he said, Gary, are you hiding anything?
I gave you the space.
He gave you the space to do it. And we didn't ask Al. Al had dispelled all the information he wanted to dispel. He asked you, were you hiding anything? And then you just popped that out.
Right.
Big shout out to Jeff, man. That is so dope. We're so glad that he is, being recognized because he has been a silent contributor
Absolutely.
to the hip hop culture
Right.
for a very, very long time. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to punch out. I got to get ready for One Night, y'all. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Always wonderful. Once again, James Tate, Humanitarian, Curtis Blow. I'm going to put the logo up and I'll play the music out and make sure you guys donate.
See y'all Sunday, August 8th.